What's going on, Ableton Advanced community? You guys are here because you're trying to get live inside of OBS, and you might be having troubles. This is something that I've been doing for quite a while. I've made this video quite a few times, and I've come to the same conclusion every single time. You're about to find out what that is, but first, hit that like and subscribe button while you watch this quick intro. Alright guys, we have an equation here. We have one Ableton over an OBS squared by an Asio driver. What is the surface area of Ableton Live? That is kind of what I feel like when I'm dealing with Asio drivers and trying to record something live. And I'll save you the trouble of giving the information out at the end of the video and just tell you right now, if you're really serious about this and you don't want to deal with any issues, I think the most logical solution, and it's not very, it doesn't even cost that much, because I feel like you don't really need a lot of power to record and stream these days, is just a second computer and run the audio into it, and then maybe just stitch the videos together later on. It's really not all that big of a deal. Plus you're going to get a high quality video, and you're not going to strain the system on the purpose that it was originally intended for. So yeah, I'm just headbutting my microphone there. So yes, with that being said, that is your best option. And if you don't have that option, or you're just ready to go through, or you're just going to do some simple recording, kind of like I'm doing right now, and you're not really that worried about latency and things like that, then you do have some other options. I do go into this every once in a while, so it does change. So everybody's going to have a different experience in this. So everybody's system is different, and you're going to get, some people are going to breeze through this and not even have a problem, and other people are going to have other issues. And that brings me back to another reason why you probably should just do it on the second system, because all these drivers and codecs and things like that can cause trouble, and maybe they don't do it automatically, but there could be an update later on and all of a sudden everything doesn't work. So I like to keep my system more geared for Ableton. I want my Ableton to run very well. I want it to open up. I don't want it to crash all that often. And I find that the more I mess with stuff like this on the same system, the more conflicts that I'm able to have. And that's just something that I don't want. Therefore, with all that being said, if we're going to push forward, let's talk about the first one here, and the one that I probably use the most because it's just very simple, and it's the FL Studios driver. I don't know what is different about the Asio driver and FL Studios, but obviously Ableton or OBS is reading this. I'll drag this over. You can see my ugly mug 15,000 times here, and you can see that we're within Ableton, and I'll show you the Asio driver here, and then I'll show you where to get it and put a link in the description. So you can see here I've chosen the FL Studios Asio driver. So I come from FL Studios. Oh my goodness, I like FL Studios. I don't care, I still use it. I like it, and it's a good product, and it's lifetime free updates. I'm not going to hate on it. I got into Ableton because I bought a controller, and then I never looked back because it's just cool. But nothing wrong with FL. So if you don't have FL, it's okay. They have a demo that you can use. I'm going to put a link in the description. I'm also going to show you right here real quick. So let's drag this over here. So you can go over to FL Studios and get the free trial, time limited. I think they put a one of those things where they stop the audio, but you still get the driver within it. So maybe you have room or not. Maybe you could find this driver by itself. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'll look into that if I want to dig into it a little bit further. But this seems to work. You can download this, and then that driver will be on there. You don't need to use FL Studios. It'll just be an option within OBS to be able to, or within Ableton, to pull down and select that driver. So that works, and that's what I get in here, and you can see I've got my overall latency here of 119 milliseconds. Not the best thing, but it's manageable when you with streaming, not streaming, but with recording basic stuff. Obviously we're not going to be able to get really heavy in here. and there is going to be some latency. I wouldn't do some live guitar recording while monitoring or something like that. Yeah, so you have some restrictions in here with this method. So now with that being said, we have some other methods too that I've scoured down, and let's check out this other one here real quick, because this one is Voxengo. Now Voxengo seems to be a really cool one that I'm looking into a little bit more, and I've just got this all working very well, but I'm having trouble dialing in the latency on the audio. So there is a video of some by Jason Zadora. I'm gonna come over here and show you this real quick. I'll put a link to his video down below too, and it's going to be a good video about JBridge and using the Voxengo. I'm also going to do a video too on JBridge as well. We'll get into that because I think it's a cool product to bounce back some of those throwback VSTs, which are cool because everybody's into that lo-fi step it down stuff. So there it is. Well, I'm going to put the link in the description for this video. I'm going to check it out a little bit more. He does go into saying something about going into advanced settings into OBS. We're going to check that here in a minute too, to get a compensating on the audio. He says like a -60 or something. There's a demo that shows you how to do this, but you can also just use an 808 or a hi-hat, which I'm going to show you too, where I put on something that that has a fast attack and a fast decay and no sustain or anything like that, and we just kind of look at it and see where it's at and start matching things up. All right, so let's close those down, and we're gonna look into that in a minute, but I'm gonna talk about this last option that you have that I don't know, it didn't seem to be cool for me. I didn't like it at all, and it's caused a lot of issues since I've started messing around with it. I don't know if it is the culprit or not, because you never can tell. You don't know what is causing the issues on these PCs. People are like, oh, that's the thing that caused the issues. I'm not going to talk bad about this product. I am not having a good time with it, and I feel like that maybe the product is causing me some issues, and I don't even want to go down the I started having some new issues with audio clipping when I enabled this, so I'm not even going to go down this anymore. Not saying that it's not the best thing for you, because it will get audio, it'll pull in any Asio audio into OBS, but it's so delayed. It's just garbage to me, and it's the worst out of all the options that I have found so far, and I'm not even gonna dignify it by going into it anymore, just because I just think that that's probably it for me. I'm not gonna dig into it. Yeah, if you want to read about it anymore, you can come over here and read about it and Google it. It's not an option that I'm gonna go down in this video, but it is one of your options, and you might have an okay time with it. It does get the audio in there, but I feel like there could have been some issues. Now, it could have been some the order of way I was shutting down Ableton and OBS. There seems to be some preferred orders of how it's done, and it doesn't seem to make sense to me anyway. I got different results by shutting, or trying to change the engine in Ableton, the audio engine, or changing the audio source in OBS. Sometimes it would work, sometimes everything would stop, sometimes I would have to shut things down, and that's when I started having the problems with the OBS add-on that adds the Asio driver in there. So I didn't like that one. So anyway, we're gonna stop the video now, and I'm gonna go into this other one. We're gonna see if we can dial in this audio latency thing and see how well this works, because this might be another viable option, because once you get the settings in OBS, then that'll be it. I still prefer having a secondary PC, so we're gonna check this out. We're gonna see how it goes. See ya. Alright guys, I have no idea how this sounds or looks. I hear an echo, and who knows. And this is another reason why I just don't even really want to get into this garbage. And I know this is a workaround, but okay, so for the sake of the rest of the video, I'm just going to tell you the audio is going to go in and out, and we're going to just kind of mess around here for a minute. And this is the first thing that I got to actually work within OBS. I should start a whole new scene down here, but I'm just kind of messing with the audio. This is just a practice here. I know people have dialed this in, and this does work. So if you see me fail at it, it's because of me. Okay. All right. So what I've done here is I've tried to hit some of the other audio options in here. So I've got my desktop audio here capturing everything, and within Ableton here, I'm gonna pull this out just for a second and show you how I actually just kind of got this in here. So after you get Voxengo in there and JBridge, first of all, to run Voxengo, which we will do a video on that absolutely next, because that seems to be important and relevant to this video. So we're gonna drag a Voxengo recorder over on to the master track. And you can see over here, I've just clicked on the master track, and we see Voxengo is down here, and I have it opened right here in front of you. So the device that you're going to pick in OBS needs to be chosen up here. It's going to be the MME device, and when I go into this in a minute, you're going to see that we have a lot of different options, and you see that I've chosen the LG32. It says my screen, and it's the NVIDIA high definition audio outsource for that. I'm not sure exactly why that's an option or what that is doing, but I just know I chose that, and all of a sudden the audio popped on because I chose what I thought should have worked first, and it didn't. But that doesn't mean anything. It could have just been me. Okay, so after that, down here you can change some things like this if you want to. I've tried to play with that, and I've gotten some really bad results. I think the buffer size needs to be up there. It doesn't matter if you've got a beast PC. I think this is just something that's going to happen. And remember, this is a 32-bit plugin, so I'm sure there's probably some kind of a some kind of a limitation. So this is why we are going to have to try to do the latency with the audio. So I don't know. I wouldn't change these settings, and I don't really know much in depth about it. And maybe Zadora goes into that more on his video. So also check that out as well too. We did put the link in the description. So output file. This is it looks like if you want to record something. I think I'll have to check that out. But I think that's what that is. It's an option that didn't seem like I needed it, so I haven't dove further into this option here. So output here is another important thing. You're gonna have to choose MME. I'm sure there's probably some different things you might want to choose depending on your systems. Like I said, everybody's system is going to be different, so I'd imagine this would give you some different options based on the options that it sees. So with that being said, I'm about to stop it here, and we're gonna go through and see if I can get some different options into OBS, as well as getting things to line up audio wise here. So deal with this audio, deal with the audio cutting out, which is probably better because you are probably sick of hearing me talk. I am. So here we go. We're going to try to dial in a different driver, or the different device in here into OBS, and you're going to watch me try to dial in these settings, and then try to dial in the latency within this desktop audio. We're going to go into the advanced settings and try to put in a negative value. I do believe he said -60, so we're going to try somewhere around there and see if that works. I did this last time, and I feel like I didn't get anywhere. So without further ado, let's stop the audio. All right. Okay, so we get audio back again. I don't know why the UMC is not coming out. Maybe there's just something about the UMC that says "nah," but it should work. I thought I've done this before, and it did pick it up. So you did see that I had my LG NVIDIA, and then you see that I've got the Realtek. I don't know. At this point, I would probably put more reliance in my NVIDIA card to run it than the stock. I don't know. My PC's pretty. It's got everything good in there. I don't know. So I don't know what to trust here. We're just going to keep it right here and see what we can do with this latency here, because it looks about the same. It's garbage, you know. So, and no matter what, we need to catch that. We need to catch the audio up with everything here. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to go ahead and close this out and go back into. It's going to be in OBS here. We're going to go ahead and turn this on. I'm going to turn my, well, I'm going to keep it on. Whatever. It's a bad echo. Go into advanced audio properties. Now we see the desktop here. It's a desktop audio that we want to mess with. And we want a negative setting here. I mean, is it getting better or worse? I don't see like I'm getting any much of a difference. And I don't see anything that says save in here. Am I crazy, or I just keep seeing the same result no matter what I do? Am I crazy? And this is what happened last time. And then I went back and read his post. I mean, maybe that's a little more blatant right there. I don't see any difference. know if there's something. I didn't see any difference. I mean, I went all the way one way and I went all the way the other way, and I didn't see any difference on that. Yeah, this might be something that I play around with more, but this is where I get to in this situation. And this would be, I don't know. This is worse to me. If I can't fix that delay, which it didn't seem like I could. It didn't seem as easy as everybody says it is. And I was changing those settings. I didn't see a save function or anything else because I did manipulate them, and I've exited out, and it didn't give me a prompt to say save it. I do hear a weird echo audio, and I don't have my monitor on. That's off, so that's another weird issue too. I wouldn't be able to get around that. That it just sounds odd. I'm getting a weird sound. The audio has to go into Ableton, it looks like, too, just for the audio, because I couldn't get the mic audio to come back in, so it seems like whatever's going on over here in Ableton is kind of like taking priority over everything. So, and that seems to be the issue in the case and the whole roadblock of this whole thing. And if we come out of anything on this, it's just, you know, PC users, it's just kind of tough. And really, I mean, if you want more options and you don't want to be taxing your system, another camera on another PC is just the absolute way to go.
All right, so I've gone back in to change a few things because I did see some settings changed in the Voxengo that he had made. So here we see that I'm running the Voxengo here, and I've taken this down to 512, and I've taken it underneath that, thinking that I should be able to go underneath 512 no problem, and it just created problems and artifacts, and I actually had to stop and like restart everything to get those artifacts to disappear after I've gone back up to this 512. So it seemed to cause an issue, and I'm kind of expecting it, but it seems to be gone now, and I'm not hearing it. But I have gone back over and listened to the audio, and I just feel like something seems stepped on, and I don't like what's going on. There might be definitely some misunderstanding going on for me, for sure. But I'll tell you right now, this is about the best that I've gotten. The latency here, that's a lot better than last time, and it's about the equivalent and of doing it with the Asio driver. Except for the latency into Ableton is not going to be getting hit. It's just the latency coming over here, which is, I guess, I don't know. I mean, what do you deal with? That's a fine balance of where do you want to settle at, I suppose. I've tried to deal, you know, maybe you can have better luck with dialing this in. And I think he said something about you need to actually go out and like monitor, but I don't see why not, because I'm seeing what I'm seeing on the screen, and if it doesn't match up, it doesn't match up, correct? I don't know. Jason did mention something about going in, calibrating this by looking at the footage afterwards. It didn't make any sense to me because I don't know why I'm not, if I'm seeing the information that I'm seeing on the screen, then that's what I'm seeing, correct? If someone wants to follow up on this so I can learn as well too, but exactly where I'm still at of my original standing, that it just seems to be a more of a professional stance to probably just get an external device to do this. So anyway, if you have to, you do have some options, but you're going to be limited and restricted. And if you found any other ways to do this, you know, because I've only just skimmed the surface, I'm pretty sure there's probably all kinds of different workarounds. But I do know the Asio system fairly well, and I know there's only so much that you can do. So with that being said, I've tried to do what I could here, and I've got the best results that I can, and I can keep going. I don't know. I feel like every time I start doing this that I don't see any difference, and the more I start playing with it, the more the worse it gets. And I don't know. you know, I have mixed feelings on it. I guess this could work, and it's definitely a workaround. I feel like it might be about the same, except for you're going to get a better performance within Ableton because you are not messing around with, messing with the latency within Ableton. Ableton's fine there, as far as I know. If we go back over here into settings, we should see good numbers within settings. 9.8 at what setting here? Let's see where I'm at here. At 128. So I feel like that number is usually lower. So I think maybe this somehow. All right, well, this is where the video cuts off, ladies and gentlemen. And what I've learned from this is that, you know, if you want to do this within PC and do it all on the same system, there's just going to be a little give and take no matter what you do. There's going to be some dance around and some troubles on it. And I think that you'll get a more professional outcome by having a different PC record the audio and do the OBS video, and then just maybe do a screen record and stitch that over. I think that gives you more options and a little bit more flexibility in your editing and post-editing anyway. So that's my take on it. If you have to do it, you've got options. But if you want to do it more professionally, my take is get a different system to record onto. Hit like and subscribe. Thanks.